Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Hickernell, and I'm here to help you with the scheduling process for the 2021 school year. Before we get started, I kind of want to walk you a little bit through the website to show you where some important documents are for the scheduling process. First, you want to go to the Iroquois website, which is www.iroquoissd.org. Click on Sites. Click on Iroquois Junior Senior High School. Click on Menu. Scroll down to where it says Academics, and then click on Curriculum. On the left-hand side, you'll see that there is a link for the Senior High Curriculum Guide. One of the first things I'm going to suggest is that you open up that link and you review it because it does have some very important course information and scheduling information as well. I'm going to highlight some of that in tonight's PowerPoint, but I think it's very important that you open up that curriculum guide and take a look at it because it's going to be very helpful in helping you to determine what classes that you should be taking. So the curriculum guide does have lots of information, like I said, about AP course offerings, career pathway information, CHS course offerings, course descriptions, offerings, and prerequisites, as well as information about dual enrollment, Erie County Technical School, graduation requirements, and ROTC. College and the High School. College in the High School is a fairly new program at Iroquois. It is a program sponsored by the University of Pittsburgh where we offer college-level coursework in the high school setting taught by Iroquois faculty with the possibility of earning college credit. Potential coursework for the 2021 school year includes CHS Basic Applied Stats and CHS Programming in Python. So I'd encourage you to review that information in the high school's curriculum guide for additional information. ROTC, any student interested in joining ROTC must submit an ROTC application along with selecting ROTC on the student scheduling portal when making their elective course selections. Applications are a fillable PDF that can be saved and emailed to Mrs. Finati at her email, which is dfinati@iroquois.iu5.org. So I'm going to show you where that ROTC application is. Again, we're just going to go to the menu button, click on Academics, click on Guidance Department, then click on Scheduling. You're going to scroll down here where it says Iroquois Junior, Air Force Junior ROTC program. And then that gives you some information about the program, and then click on the ROTC application. Again, that's a downloadable application. It's a fillable PDF. You'll just fill in the information and then email that to Mrs. Finati. Okay. AP course offerings. If you're interested in taking an AP course, you must complete the AP course request sheet, which is available on the high school guidance website. I'm going to show you how to navigate that as well. You want to fill out this AP course request sheet and then get it back to me via email no later than May 20th. So this section here, again, this is all in that student scheduling tab up here. So click on scheduling on that guidance department. And the AP course offerings has lots of information about AP earning college credit via AP classes, AP course planning, and then guidelines. So no more than 2 AP courses should be scheduled per year. These are potential AP course offerings. And then right here is the AP scheduling request forms. So you're going to choose whichever grade level that you're going into. I'm going to choose grade 11, just for an example, to show you what it looks like. Okay. So again, you're going to fill out this request sheet. You'll have mom or dad sign it electronically is fine, and then return that to me, no later than May 20th, and you want to return that via email. And again, my email address is lhickernell@iroquois.iu5.org. Okay, so those AP request sheets are due no later than May 20th to me. Once you're approved for AP coursework, you will be notified. Teachers will touch base with you about potential summer coursework to prepare for your AP class in the fall. Again, this is just a list of potential AP coursework down here. The actual running of these classes will be determined by student interest and scheduling availability. Students interested in taking dual enrollment courses at any of the local universities must fill out the dual enrollment application. Dual enrollment applications were due to me by April 30th. Once your Iroquois dual enrollment application is approved by Mr. Wilson, you must submit your college dual enrollment application, which is a separate application, to the college of your choice. All transcripts, test scores will be sent by the counseling office upon approval of your application. If Iroquois offers an equivalent level of AP coursework in that class that you choose, dual enrollment will be denied. Elective course prerequisites. This slide just talks a little bit about some of the elective course prerequisites. These tend to be some of the more popular elective courses. So I just want to note that there are prerequisites for these courses. One of the things I want to mention, we typically have a lot of kids that want to take art classes. But in order to take any of the higher level art classes, you must take Art 1. So that's something that you definitely want to make sure you put on your schedule if you're interested in taking, any of those other higher level art courses later on in high school. Another one is Foundations of Technology. That is a prerequisite for the technology education courses. So, those courses that Mr. Patrick teaches, if you're interested in any of those courses, make sure that you schedule that Foundations of Technology course because that typically covers a lot of the safety features in his lab area. Another one I like to mention is vocal ensemble. Vocal ensemble is by audition only, so you'll need to contact Mrs. Kelly to arrange for an audition in order to qualify to take that vocal ensemble course. I really encourage everyone just to make sure that they look on the high school curriculum guide on the website. Review that for any other additional information on course prerequisites as well. Band and chorus. Students that are interested in taking band or chorus as an elective should choose band or chorus as their first elective in order to be guaranteed placement in those courses. Graduation requirements. As you can see, these are our graduation requirements for all grade levels. So by the time you are looking at graduation, you should have earned 4 credits of math, 4 credits of English, 4 credits of science, 4 credits of social studies, 1 credit of health PE, 4 primary pathway elective credits, and 3 secondary pathway elective credits. So your total credits would be 24 credits for graduation. Core class recommendations. Core class recommendations, required courses such as math, English, science, and social studies. Those will be selected and entered into the scheduling database after a review of student ability level and achievement data, including but not limited to grades, previous standardized test scores, and teacher recommendations. Most students are scheduled into physical education classes as well. Students are placed into required courses in the sequence they occur in the curriculum guide, and students are placed in the most rigorous coursework possible based on their ability and their achievement. Making science selections in 11th and 12th grade. Once students have successfully completed a high school chemistry course, which is a chemistry with a lab, chemistry honors with a lab, or applied chem, students are able to choose their next science course. Most students who finish chemistry will need one more science credit, and students get to choose that final science course. Typically, the next sequential science course for a student completing applied chemistry is either physical science or environmental science, but could choose another course offering as well. Typically, those who finish chemistry with a lab choose either physics, forensics, or anatomy physiology, or in some cases, they may already have fulfilled their 4-credit requirement and do not take another science course in favor of an elective. Typically, those who finish chemistry honors take one or more AP science courses, but some can take physics, anatomy, physiology, or forensics depending upon their interest levels. One of the things that I just want to note about making those science selections is that you really need to look at what your plans are after high school. If you are looking at attending a college of some sort, I would highly encourage you to have a conversation with your science teacher along with your school counselor. Most colleges are wanting to see physics on a student's transcripts. Or if depending on, what field you're going into, in college, I definitely would advise you have those conversations with your science teacher, your school counselor, and also familiarize yourself with admission requirements for certain schools that you're looking at applying to make sure that you are taking the appropriate science class, your 11th and 12th grade years. Okay, so now we're kind of getting to the nitty-gritty of scheduling. We're going to talk a little bit about, your Holland type and pathway matches inventory. So one of the first things you want to do is complete your Holland type and pathway matches before you actually begin the scheduling process. So I'm going to kind of show you where all of that is on the scheduling tab. Okay, so again, we're over here on the scheduling tab. I'm going to scroll down here to where it says Holland type and pathway matches inventory. All you're going to do is you're going to read the statements, and if they, do you consider yourself these things? Can you do these things? And do you like to do these things? So you're going to look at, each of these sections. There's an R section, an I, an A, an S, an E, and then a C. So you're like reading all of these statements within those sections, and then you're going to total up your X's, next to those letters. And you'll see that those letters are acronyms for characteristics for interest inventories. So, if you're an R, you're realistic, I is investigative, A, artistic, S, social, E, enterprising, C, conventional. So I'm simply going to say that my top scores were R, I, and S. I had 15, a 14, and a 13. So what I'm going to look down here, my top score was an R, and an I and an S. So you're going to see that my primary pathway would be science and health. My secondary pathway would most likely be business, finance, and information technology, or even engineering and industrial technology, because you'll see that I have an R, I, and S in business, and an R and an I in engineering and industrial technology. So what students will do is they'll list their primary pathway and then their secondary pathway. And then they're going to go and look at the curriculum guide, which we've got to navigate back to that. It's down here under curriculum. And if you recall, my primary pathway was science and health. So I'm going to scroll down here through the 5 pathways. And then here is my science and health pathway. So you'll see in the curriculum guide here, it talks about, things I'm interested in, what I can do, things I might enjoy. Here are sample careers, entry level, no further education required, technical skills, some further education, and then professional is, 4-year college or beyond. And then within that science and health pathway, this lists what electives and core classes fall within that pathway. Okay, so it goes by grade level, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So that will give me an idea of what classes I want to look to schedule. So again, students must complete 4 primary pathway elective credits and 3 secondary pathway elective credits prior to graduation. So I'm just going to skip over that Holland inventory that I have on my PowerPoint. And now we're kind of getting into the whole scheduling process. So before you get signed into Infinite Campus, I just want to take you back to the scheduling tab. Okay, so I'm going to click on scheduling again. I'm going to look at, whatever grade level it is I'm going into for the 2021 school year. So if I'm a current, 10th grader and I'm looking at being in 11th grade next fall, I'm going to click on this grade 11 schedule request sheet. And this is going to tell me, I can write down what English class I'm going to be in based on what shows up on my Infinite Campus. Course registration, what my math class is. If I don't have the option of selecting my science class as an elective, I have to take chemistry, I would simply write in chemistry there. I write in my social studies course, and then of course Health 11 and Personal Finance are the required elective. And then you'll see I'll have my requested electives and alternate electives as well. So we're going to scroll down here, and I'm going to go, for that science and health pathway, and I'm going to look through, what my possible electives are within that pathway. Okay. So I want to make sure that I am making those selections for my primary and secondary pathways for those elective courses. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to sign into Infinite Campus. You'll click on the link here. You'll get signed in. Your username is your student ID number only. Your password, if you don't remember your password, simply click on the Forgot Password link, and they'll email that link to you. So scheduling instructions, after you get logged in, you're going to select More from the index, then select Course Registration. A list of course registration enrollment displays, and you're going to select your desired enrollment year, 2021 school year. Then you're going to look at, a little ahead of myself. Your core classes and required electives have been added to your schedule by your core class teachers and/or school counselors. These classes are listed as required. Changes to these requests cannot be made, but you can discuss these choices with your counselor. Courses you requested display as requests. These requests can be modified, changed to alternates, removed, etc. Courses you requested as alternates display as alternates. These requests can be modified, changed to request, removed, etc. Change a course request to an alternate by selecting it from your list of courses and clicking the Convert to Alternate button. And you can delete a request by clicking the red X from the search results or by selecting the course and clicking Delete Request. Course units. The course units total indicates how complete your schedule is. A full schedule lists 56 out of 64 units. The first number indicates how many units the student has requested. The second number indicates how many total units are needed. Please note that the tutorial period accounts in the overall 64 units, which is that denominator number. So your full schedule, once you have selected enough electives, will read 56 out of 64. One thing I do want to note is that, even though you have a full schedule, 56 out of 64, make sure that you have selected, at least 3 credits of alternates. Oftentimes kids think, oh, I have a full schedule, I've got the numbers that I need, but what they're not taking into consideration is that we can't always get those first selected electives that you chose to fit into your schedule. So to add a request, you can click the Add Course button. A list of courses available for the selection will display. You'll begin typing the name of the course in the search field, and then matching results will display below the search field. Select the desired course. Information about that course, how many units, and a description of the course will display. And the course, add the course by clicking Add Request or click the Add Alternate button. This adds the course as an alternate course in case you cannot be scheduled into other courses. And then you're going to return to the Add Course screen by clicking back. Repeat these steps until you have a complete or near complete schedule. Deleting a request. Delete a request by clicking the red X from the search results or by selecting the course and clicking Delete Request. For a faster way to request courses, search for the course, click the blue plus sign on the left, and the pop-up message that displays select Request, Alternate, or Cancel. Make sure you review your course requests. Again, your schedule will read 56 out of 64 units. Once you have your schedule reads that 56 out of 64 and you have selected at least 3 credits of alternates, that's the important part, you may review your selections and make any adjustments as needed. Again, please note that tutorial period is counted in those overall 64 units, which is why your schedule will read 56 out of 64 instead of 64 out of 64, because we don't add those tutorial periods in until the summer months. If you're satisfied with your requests, simply click the print button. This will generate a PDF of your required and requested courses. Your request will save automatically. So again, I just want to show you where those instructions are on the scheduling website in case you don't want to have to watch the video again. So again, on that scheduling tab, you'll see scheduling instructions. It's downloadable and printable, and it's right there. So you'll simply click on that. And then all of this information is again listed here on the website as far as how to add a request, how to delete it, things like that. Okay. So if you have any questions concerning the scheduling process or need to speak to a school counselor for additional information about scheduling, please call the high school's counseling office at 814-899-7643, extension star 1532. Schedules will be mailed home sometime in July. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate in contacting us. Mrs. Cashteller and I are more than happy to email with you, talk with you about the scheduling process. Again, just because we're not in the office doesn't mean that we're not a phone call or an email away. So I hope this video finds everyone in wonderful health, and take care, and I look forward to seeing all of your smiling faces soon. Bye-bye.